Shut up.
We had it on VHS. I would watch that movie all the time. That and Goonies.
Guess where you can watch it today.
Guess where?
Guess where you can watch Aliens today.
Anywhere?
My TV. My TV. I don't know.
It's on Disney Plus.
Do they own it?
Really?
I didn't know that.
The entire Alien franchise is on Disney Plus.
Does that make Ridley a Disney princess?
Yes.
Does it make the Alien Queen a Disney princess?
Yes. A Disney Queen.
Okay, so there's Alien and then there's Aliens, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, which one's which?
Alien is the first one.
Aliens is second.
Aliens
well,
is
that
second.
completely. I mean, that makes complete sense.
I had a story the other day that when Ridley Scott made Alien, and then James Cameron made Aliens. Apparently, in order to get the funding to do Aliens, the story goes that James Cameron walked into the boardroom, he wrote the word Alien on a whiteboard, and then he turned around and looked at all the executives, and then he turned back to the whiteboard and he wrote an S, and turned back and looked at them, and then he drew lines through it to turn it into a dollar sign, and that's how he got the.
He was
apparently,
right. He was right.
Apparently, that's how he got the funding to make the Aliens movie.
Threw money at him. It was just
That's right. How many dump trucks? How many dump trucks of money would you like?
I don't know how it goes as far as how much money they made, but by far I feel it's the best movie of the Alien franchise. And Ridley Scott. Wait, who did the first one? That was Ridley Scott, right?
Ridley Scott, yeah.
Yeah. He recently was a part of Raised by Wolves, the new TV show on Amazon or something like that, which was kind of interesting. It was neat, and it got a little weird. Like, it jumped the shark hard in the last couple of episodes, and it's supposed to be going on to season 2. But it was cool. Like, I highly recommend it. It's a neat take on a lot of different things, but it just got weird towards the end, which... I don't know. It's space and aliens, so I guess technology is weird. It's what was it, Asimov? If technology is advanced enough, it seems like magic. Kind of feels that way in the TV show.
So how many of these things are there then? Because I googled Alien film series, and there's Alien, and the second one is what?
There's 2.
Yes. Alien and Aliens. All the rest. Actually, Alien 3 is Alien 3 is really cool if you watch the director's cut, because it adds in a lot of different, like the inmates' discussion about things that you don't get in the theatrical version. That adds a lot to the movie itself. Like, it's Alien 3 theatrical, Alien 3 director's cut, actually kind of interesting. So if you're going to go down that line, be sure to try to get the director's cut. The director.
Yes. It has Charles Dance. If you're going to watch a Charles Dance movie, it should be Last Action Hero, because he's amazing in it.
I have seen that one.
I just can't believe you've seen AVP, but not Aliens. That just blows my mind.
AVP came out in the early 2000s, right?
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah, 2004. So I was living near the theater, and I believe my wife was working at the theater at the time, so it would have been just walk in and watch it.
Okay.
Do you have, I don't want to say fond memories, do you have any memories of the film?
The only thing I remember and being like, oh, this is pretty awesome, is the very last 2 minutes of the film. There's a scene like the opening of a ship or something like that, and maybe the alien had come out of it, and the predator, had come out. But
special effects are outstanding in this show.
Yeah, we spared no expense.
I am Kermit the Frog.
But the predator leapt and was like doing a spinning like spear strike at the alien. That's the only thing I remember, and I remember seeing the effect of it, like he's leaping at the camera sort of thing, and I was like, oh, that's a cool scene, and that was the end of the movie.
That's the one where they're in the glacier, right?
Yeah.
So the only thing I remember at the movie, there was an opening of some sort of ship, and then the alien came out of it, and then the predator jumped at him with a spear.
Is that the
Yes,
one where
it's a pyramid under the ice.
Yeah, that's right.
is that the one where the predator gets snagged?
Yes, at the end.
Yes.
That's like the very last thing is the predalien pops out of the predator's belly or chest
And
or
he
whatever.
just gave away the twist to the whole movie.
I was gonna
Well,
say,
you've had 20
spoiler alert.
years. It's not too soon. It's
Spoiler alert for a film no one should see.
right. Don't go watch this. Let me just tell you what happens. And then they came back with Requiem, which was so much worse. I mean, just so much. Like AVP was bad. This was awful badness. Like just
I'm listening to a podcast about horror franchises, and one of the ones that they've just gone through is the Alien franchise, and they claim that might be literally the worst movie ever made.
Requiem.
Yeah,
It is god awful. It's really now on the Predator
Is that Resurrection?
side,
Is that
no,
Resurrection?
that's 4. That's Alien 4, where they're like on the ship and she's like a clone. No, this is on
Yeah.
Earth. This is Earth.
I've never
Hey,
heard of this
this-
movie.
Alien versus Predator. Well, that's okay. That's all right.
No.
Fine.
Requiem.
That's the second AVP movie.
it's
It's-
Alien vs
oh.
Predator Requiem.
It's
Two.
Got
the
it.
crossover series.
Part 2.
The second.
So there was the most recent Predator movie. I think it's the most recent one. Is like The Predator, and it's got
Yeah.
a bigger Predator. But it's the one with Thomas Jane and like the Section 8 group. And those guys alone, Section 8's like the crazy people in the military, right? And that group of guys, the Section 8 group, make that movie absolutely 1000% worth watching over and over and over. The movie itself sucks ass. Those
Yeah.
guys are hilarious, and I've watched it several times just so I can listen to them because it's those background throwaway jokes where they're just talking to each other and like the foregrounds. Those guys are a masterpiece. The rest of the movie, just fast forward through it.
Okay.
It's like a weird porn, skip through the parts where they're like acting and things and get to the meat of it. Get to the part where you got the Section 8. It's fantastic.
Okay.
That's all. I can't say enough about them alone making it worthy of watching that movie.
So they're better than the Section 7, the
They
guy
won
from,
better.
We
from
don't- we-
Transformers.
We don't talk about Section 7.
It's a platoon of clingers.
Yeah, pretty much. All dressed in drag.
Yep.
Oh dear.
That is a MASH reference for those who are curious.
He was trying to get a Section 8. I don't think he
Yeah.
actually ever did.
No, because the colonel was like, "You're not going anywhere."
Yeah.
And Rachel, if you're listening, MASH was a TV show.
Once upon a time.
And a movie.
Was it I guess it was a movie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah, well, after the show it was. I think I was after. Yeah, I'm almost certain of it. So how's everything going, guys?
Good. Hey, have y'all seen The Wheel of Time?
Yes.
I've seen the first. Yeah, well, that's all that's out. 3, yeah. Huh. All that really did was make me want to read the book.
Again.
I've read the first 3 or 4 chapters
Oh yeah.
of Eye of the World,
Mhm.
and I keep getting 3 or 4 chapters in and stopping and starting over and over again. But now that I've seen those 3 episodes, I have it. Like it's on my Kindle now, and I'm going to read it. It made me really, really interested in reading the series.
In fact, in between
Yeah.
combat rounds, I'm going to be reading it tonight.
Yeah. So my
Fantastic.
wife is like a Wheel of Time fanatic / expert. She's been strapped to the wheel at least 4 times.
Mhm, mhm.
Easily.
I know she's been talking about it since I've known her. I mean,
Yeah.
like decades.
And so she was like, I want to see it, but I don't want to see it. And we
Yeah.
watched the 3 of them. Was it Friday? I guess it was Friday when they came out. And
Yeah.
she's watched them, I think she's watched them like 3 more times since then.
Yeah.
She really, really likes them. And
Seems-
what's funny is she's like, that's different. Ooh, that's good. That's this. No, that's different. You know, she's like pointing all this stuff out. I'm like, just watch the show.
they definitely changed the order of how they present things.
Yeah.
I mean, of the 4 chapters I've read, they start things out differently. I mean, that's TV, I guess.
But she's like, she's like really, really impressed with how good of a job they did adapting it.
I
And
like
that was pretty good.
I like the main actress. I can't remember her name. She was in Jack Reacher, but I can't not remember her name.
Rosamund Pike.
Yes, I like her. I like her
Yeah.
quite a bit in that show.
Yeah, she's good.
They did a really good job casting pretty much everyone, I think,
Yeah.
so far.
Yeah, I'm frustrated that the actor that plays Matt has been recast for season 2 because I think he's actually like the heart of the show at the moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
But what about when he?
Yeah, exactly.
I've only ever
that's-
read the first book one time, and it was at least 15 years ago. So I've got just the slightest bit of knowledge about it, and I remember a grand total of like 3 things from the book, and 2 of them have already happened. So yeah.
Well, I think
I read all of the books multiple times, and when I started at university in '97, back when the internet was browsable and you could watch all of it, there was a thing called WhatFac, the Wheel of Time FAQ, and there was like a collection of all the forum posts and everything. And I used to go to uni where I had access to the internet and print it and take copies home so that I could read it. And it was hundreds and hundreds of pages, but it was
Yeah.
all like, all of the like, these are all the mysteries, and these are where all the characters are at, and these are all the characters that we think might be evil, but we're not sure, and here's the evidence. And it was great. I loved it. It was
Now-
like podcasting in text form.
a magazine.
Yeah. Oh, that's what that is. Right.
So the guy that wrote The Way of Kings, isn't he the one that finished the
Brandon.
the dodecalogy? How many are there?
Sanderson?
12? Sanderson? Brian
14.
Sanderson? There's 14 of
Nope,
them.
can't see it.
Yeah, it's a little.
Can't see it.
It looks like a cave.
So put it next to my face. Does
Nope.
it help?
Nope. Nope.
Nope,
Yeah.
No.
nope, nope.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
But,
Nope.
but yes,
Curse.
Brandon Sanderson, and my wife was telling us, we were talking about that at dinner, and she said that at because they had already discussed with Brandon Sanderson about him taking over the finishing the books. Robert Jordan and his wife did, and so after the funeral, he was invited back to their home, and people are there and all this other stuff, and just like, do you want, would you like something to drink, coffee, tea, something like that, a sandwich or something? He's like, no, I need the outline, please give me the outline. I have to know how it's finished.
Yeah.
You and the rest of the planet
Yeah. Exactly.
want the outline.
It was just the last book, right? Or was it 2
Two.
books?
Last
It's-
It was
two.
the last
yeah,
2 books.
two.
Okay.
It was supposed to be the last one, and it ended up being the last 3.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was at least
wow.
2. Yeah.
So there's 14 books?
Yeah, there's 14 books in the main story, and then there's a prequel as well.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. I
Yeah.
forgot about
It's, if nothing else, I don't know why. Like, I just kept on being turned off by the first book, but watching that TV show, just those 3 episodes, has really like lit the fire under my butt to start reading the Wheel of Time.
I tell you,
So,
get out the notebook. I mean, I was literally, and I was reading it. I was like, I'm gonna have to create a database, like with cross references.
It's like the meme with
of
the
like
lady who's like
names
doing
and
all the
places.
math. Like,
Yes, exactly. It's like, yeah, the big
With the
map on
red
the wall
string
with
and
the
the- Yeah.
lines and the pens and stuff. It is
Hang on.
immense.
Hang on, because I have an app for this. I'll find it, and I'll drop the name in the chat. But there's an app that basically you tell it which of the books you've read, and it acts like an encyclopedia. So it will tell you like all of the characters and what they're doing, but it doesn't give you any spoilers past the books you've read.
Oh,
oh,
yeah,
that's brilliant.
It's super helpful,
that is cool.
and probably useless for the TV show because they will have changed things. But
They've not changed that much. I mean, one of the glaring changes was Perrin being married is
Yeah.
not the book.
So I don't even recognize the name yet. Like, I know Matt.
So
Yeah.
Perrin's the wolf.
The blacksmith.
Yes.
Okay. And they barely touch about that in the last or the 3rd episode, I believe. Yeah, I mean, I get it now why it's such a massively, popular series. Just I don't know. I don't know what I missed, or just give it enough time to build its story and get to the nice nitty gritty of it. But like, I'm sold. I'm definitely going to be reading this in the next 5 years.
Long time.
Yeah.
I have to admit though, like, the Harry Potter series, I read them all.
Yeah.
And after I finished reading them, I really felt like the middle, like 5 books, they could just burn and just do the first 2 or 3 and then do the last one and you're done.
Just skip to the interminable camping in the 7th book.
Yes, right, exactly. And you kind of get the story, right?
Gordon
And
Canaan's magnificent tent.
yeah.
Mhm.
And I sometimes I wonder the same thing about the Wheel of Time. It's like, so my wife is over going, "Oh no, you got to read the whole thing."
Consume.
That's funny.
Okay, so she has spoken. I got to read the whole thing.
I mean,
Yeah,
because
I'll read
of the
along
way
with
they
you
were
as we
talking
talk
about the way they were talking about the cyclic nature of the dragon and everything in those first 3 episodes, I was thinking,
So we.
oh, thank you, Cowart. I didn't realize that Matt was short for Matrim. Thank you.
That's tame.
Yeah. But no, I figured just at the end of the Wheel of Time, it would be like go back to chapter 1 of the Eye of the World and start
This is
over.
the stuff.
It's just you're just stuck in it forever. Yeah.
So this is not spoilers, but when you watched it, did you notice the skyscrapers?
Yes, I did.
Yes, those are cool. And I don't know where they describe that in the books, but it wasn't in the four chapters.
Yeah. So in the books, that
It's
when you see it, so when I read the books, I didn't really envision the landscape like that. I mean, I knew that there's this, ancient, like thousands and thousands of year olds, highly advanced society, but I never imagined there being like ruins everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But they're showing it's like, look, that's like New York City right there in ruins.
Skyscrapers, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I wonder if that's where Horizon Zero Dawn and the other one.
It feels
Yeah.
like that. It
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
Another thing which I've started and never finished.
Zero Dawn.
Mm-hmm. Actually,
Well, something else we've started but haven't
Goblins.
finished is this campaign.
ah!
Whoa.
Segue. What?
It
Right
only took
around
us
zoo.
it only
one
took us
time.
19 minutes and 50 seconds to get there.
Well, Wheel of Time's a pretty good topic. Like, I'm very interested in start reading it, but I'm also interested in picking up where we were from last week.
Ba-ba-ba-bum.
Ba-da-da-da, do-do-do-do. You guys had taken your little trip back upstairs, talked to Jenya, got some information about the vampire, came back downstairs, found out that Auric was no longer in his boat house, and followed his trail a little bit, the bloody footsteps, because he had tracked through the blood of the massacred goblins.
It was
in the
self-defense.
bathhouse. Huh?
It was self-defense.
It was ish self-defense. And
Not my fault. I
lost.
ran into my blades.
Quit running into me. Lost track of him, started exploring some more, checked things out, went down the tunnel, and just got flat out ambushed. And that fight took the entire last episode. It was a 2-hour fight that was 7 rounds, 8 rounds. The typical D&D travel 100 miles in 6 seconds, but 2 hours to fight 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
You finished the fight, and essentially we stopped at that point. You'd taken out the last goblin, who was just doing the Benny Hill, like like back and forth, getting out of your way, up and down ladders. Finally took him out. But during the fight, a couple of the goblins that had run off to the east, you heard blood-curdling screams and cries of pain, and then silence. And at this point, where we pick up today, you're standing at that cliff. I'm not sure if Farazan's up on the cliff, and I may have moved him there by accident while I was adjusting the map. But you're standing there, lit by Khaldun and lit by Farazan's hammer, in the darkness of the cavern, in pure silence. What would you like to do?
I think we were climbing the cliff.
Okay.
Like I see some athletics rolls here. We were climbing the cliff.
Okay. So maybe Farazan is at the top. It's fairly simple. It's going to take you 2 rolls to get up this cliff. Not a high DC, but I will need an athletics check from the rest of you, whoever is not up there yet.
I remember failing horribly at this.
Did you know? Yeah, that's right. You just never got off the ground. I think you failed
Nope.
twice in a row.
Yeah, and I'm
So
going to fail a third time too.
It's a 55-foot cliff. So the first time you'll be up 30 feet. If you fail, you're falling 30 feet. If you succeed, you're up to the top. So if the plan is to climb up, Khaldun, Tarathiel, give me your 2 checks.
Well, I've already made one. I got 21.
Okay, you're good.
18.
18, good. You're both halfway up. One more roll apiece, and you're to the top next to Farazan. Good.
And 18.
18, and Khaldun.
Oh, but hang on just one second. I got to turn on Beyond 20. There we go. You are on now. And roll. No.
6. All right. This may be a rule. I'm putting this rule in because I like it. It's maybe a throwback rule from 3.5 or Pathfinder. You did not fail more than 5. You just don't make any progress. I'm not going to have you fall. So give me another roll to finish your climb. And you're still there. You are stuck. You have no handholds. Farazan and Tarathiel are staring down the hill, this cliff, looking at you, like egging you on, like cheering you on. It reminds me, quick story, Heath, me, and an old friend of ours named Joel, we went climbing this one time. I was, 12, 13 years old, and I about started slipping down the mountain, this boulder, 20 feet. And our friend literally grabbed me and pulled me up to the side with just pure adrenaline and like trying to save my life. And I will never forget that. That was my first example
One-handed.
of what adrenaline. Yes. And I'm not a small person. Even when I'm 13, I'm still a big dude. So anyway, Khaldun, you're halfway up. Give me another check.
Do you need a rope? Farazan calls.
I don't think so. 12.
And you're up. No problem. Easy.
Farazan is looking down. Do you need a rope? Khaldun pops up behind your shoulder. No.
Why would I need a rope?
I have one. Why? Here. I have my rope. I've got
You're
one.
a rope. All right. You're up top on this cliff looking down. Khaldun, at least you're looking down the hallway. And you've seen this. This was where Pazel 3.0 had been earlier. You see all the way down with your dim light to at least the rope bridge, not quite beyond. There's a door to your north, and then that slight opening that opened down to where the ambushers were earlier.
Okay. So
All right.
go down this path to the rope carefully.
There's a doorway about halfway down if you want me to have a look.
Yeah, why don't you do that? I'll watch your back.
Okay. Perceiving and investigating. Give me your rolls.
He's got bright light from both of us.
Yes, he is good. Looks clear.
Perceiving and investigating.
Does not look trapped. It is unlocked. And that actually, you talk about the bright light, that brings something up. I'm running a game for some friends, some new people that I've never played before. And the idea of dark vision and dim light and perception and all this stuff, disadvantage, advantage. I don't know if we've mentioned it on here before, but if you have dark vision and you're in dim light, it is as though you're in bright light.
Yeah.
I hadn't been thinking about that. I always thought it was dim light. So remind me. I actually not sure I knew that, but anyway, Tarathiel.
I don't think we've never been in a dim light situation though, right?
Well, I mean, it would be like the outer rim of your torch light. If Tarathiel was in there, it would be bright light for him. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's not really been a huge issue so far, but it is. I don't want to take away something that's actually shouldn't be. So, FYI, remind me. I'll forget it. Tarathiel, the door is not locked and it appears to be completely 100% safe.
And I will kick it open very slowly and carefully.
All right. Yeah.
Tarathiel doesn't actually have the strength to kick anything open, so.
Let's do some revelations here.
Reveal.
Oh, wow. I am awful with the polygon reveal. That is
Just
not a
you and-
rectangle.
Just
It's
you
a
and every other
polygon.
DM. It's fine.
That is definitely a polygon. So you gently, carefully, quietly kick open this door into what looks like another obvious goblin lair, goblin warren. There's graffiti all over the walls, three moldy pallets, and the far wall has partially collapsed in down here at the end. Do
No,
not
gross.
see much of note.
Hmm.
And it is empty. There's no goblins in here.
We've already met the goblins.
Yes.
That's gross. Don't go in there.
Yeah, it's stinky.
Okay.
All right. Can we just walk across this bridge, or does it look dodgy?
It looks all right. It looks like a
Roll
hold your weight.
detect dodgy.
Yes. That's
Okay,
under
roll
your flummox stat.
Yes.
Ah,
What's your flummox?
I got a pretty good flummox, actually.
All right. Disadvantage. No, the rope bridge looks perfectly fine. It looks fairly new, actually.
All right. Tarathiel will do his best to quietly move across the bridge.
Okay. Go ahead and give me stealth. The sagging rope bridge spans the rough-hewn passage at a height of 30 feet.
Ooh.
That doesn't make sense. It's supposed to be 70. Connected two ends of a 5-foot-wide worked tunnel. Sturdy wooden posts hold the bridge in place.
That is not a great roll, but a 20.
Yeah,
Because Tarathiel is great at stealth, but
you feel very quiet.
makes no creaking noises on the rope as he goes across.
No.
All right. I will wait right here and let him be sneaky.
Okay. Farazan, what you doing? You hanging back?
I mean, he's trying to keep him back a little bit, but not far enough that he can't rush up to help. So,
Gotcha. All right, Tarathiel, you are on your own.
I'll take a. I figured. Tarathiel will take a peek around this corner to the south.
All right. Let me some more revelation. What you got? You got 60 feet dark vision, right?
Yep.
Boom. It is a long, dark hallway opening back to the west and
Sure, it's fine.
continuing on
It's fine.
south, going to the east. It looks like there's a doorway right there, like a four-way
Yeah, there's
intersection.
one.
It's not. It's just
the lie.
kind of just crumbly
Yes,
walls.
ignore this. Don't look behind the curtain.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah, it's just crumbly walls. It's
It doesn't make sense, but I get it.
okay.
All right. Tarathiel will wave to the other two to get them to come across the bridge before he heads any further in.
All right. You guys cross the bridge, no problem.
Does it collapse under Farazan's weight?
No, it's pretty sturdy. It looks like
It's
been
a
created.
dwarven made rope bridge.
It actually looks fairly recent. It's not made out of like goblin chest hair or anything. It's made out of really solid twine, but it's really well made. Maybe goblins have a special knack for making ropes and things like that
Out of the chest hair.
out of their chest hair. Yeah, it's like weaving an afghan. Tarathiel,
Yeah, it
you
doesn't,
head down?
yeah, rope bridge doesn't feel very dwarven.
No.
Like,
All right, coming on down.
So I'm trying to avoid shining light on him while he's being sneaky.
Okay. All right.
I just don't want to get. I don't want to get multiple rounds ahead in case combat erupts.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take into account that you're following up, but you're letting him be sneaky and do his thing.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna jump you and say, oh, you're way back there. So I get what you're doing.
Cool.
You see into the distance on down this this passageway. Looks like another warren. There is 3 or 4 nasty goblin mats. A large section of the room has fallen away into the tunnel below, forming a gash in the west wall. 40-foot high precipice overlooking a rough-hewn tunnel. The ceiling of which is the same height as the roof of the chamber, which is 10 feet tall. The only moldy straw pallets are heaped in 3 moldy straw pallets are heaped into the southwest corner of the room. That's right, the map's turned. Y'all remember. It's on the east side of the room, which contains no other furnishings. And I'll let you have a little bit more here. Now, I want to let you know, Tarathiel, as you move closer to this corner, you start feeling an absolute chill in the air.
Romantic.
Sha-la-la-la-la-la.
Stop that. Tarathiel will send back through the psychic link that we're all currently sharing. Like, it's very cold.
It's very romantic here. Come on, guys.
I feel at ease and in love. Give me a perception check, Tarathiel, with not disadvantage, just a regular perception check. It's a hearing thing. Spoilers.
16.
16. You hear up to the north, basically to your right, to your left, the sounds of wet crunching and popping noises and slight tearing noises in that chamber above.
Romantic.
Yes.
I think I've
Creaking
found...
like wood.
Housekeeping.
I think I found someone. I think there's something gross eating something grosser.
There's just a lot of gross.
Gross squid.
Oh, that's funny.
Do you guys want to come up, or should I try and head in?
Give me just 1 second. I'm staring my scroll of magic weapon, and I want to. Because I think I'm getting ready to. I'm going to cast it on Farazan. I just want to see what the duration is before I cast it.
I want to say it's a minute.
It's a minute per
I'm
vampire.
looking it up on D&D Beyond right now. Magic weapon.
It's in minus 1 minute, where in is the number of minutes that you need it.
Yeah.
So 0.
But the spell will last longer.
It lasts 1 hour.
That's an hour. Okay. Is it concentration?
Did you just say the spell will last longer than Farazan?
How many hit
An
points does
hour?
Farazan have?
I mean,
How dare you?
that's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, actually, does Farazan need do we need a short rest? That last battle was kind of rough.
Tarathiel's around the corner, listening to these horrible sounds
Okay,
of ripping
so I'm
and
not going
gnarling.
to phrase it. Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
Let's go take a nap.
do we need to take a breather?
I mean,
There is a vampire down here.
I sense boss.
bing, 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 bing. Yeah,
You-
yeah.
Do you know the sound when a cow eats a lot of custard and then somebody eats that cow? That's what this sounds like.
That's exactly how it's written in the book.
Farazan says, "I think I saw a save point back there. That's not good."
Yeah, the moldy room may actually be a decent place to take a knee.
In meta gaming terms, if you did Blood Reader on Farazan, he'd be 16 out of 41. So probably could use a little bit.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
Actually, I've got in my inventory here, I do have a couple of potions. Can I have been chugging those 2 potions as we've been walking?
Yeah, you can go ahead and quaff them now if you'd like.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Here's
Quaff.
2d4 plus 2. Let's see if I can get 2 1s again.
Hey, 2 2s.
Whoa.
2 2s. Yeah.
Me too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Or 3 and a 1. Or 4 and a 0.
If I roll a 4 and a 0, then I'm done. I'm leaving. I'm gonna go ahead and go for 1 more.
Oh, even worse.
Yay.
Who's
Well, I
told you these potions?
Now you have doubled your potion or your hit points.
The dice say no.
think I've got the worst luck on rolling for healing.
Well, I mean, the maximum. Oh no, the maximum is 10. So yeah, all right.
Yes, Matt.
Yeah, I was thinking the maximum was 8, but that's not right.
No, it should be an average of 7.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
Not-
sir
You
are
are
below
below
average.
average.
not a ceiling of
Not
7.
your height, your healing.
Mhm.
So Farazan's back there just chugging potions. Raphael's talking about cows eating custard and Khaldoon's reading a book.
He's gonna have to. He's gonna have to pee in the middle of combat after all these potions.
Time out.
Keep drinking potions. You're gonna have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, Matt's like ticking off the minutes. Yep, right about now.
I've been eating a lot of protein.
Roll a hold it check.
Roll a Constitution save.
All right. Are you good to carry on, or do you want to stop? It's up to you.
I think it would be a good idea to take an hour.
After drinking the potions.
Yeah. I mean, it's 27 out of 41, man.
Yeah. No, I get it. 100%.
Yeah.
I just hate that you drank the 2 potions and then, decide to take a short rest.
All right, Trathy will very carefully withdraw
Yeah.
from the horrifying noises coming from the murder basement.
So the plan is to go do a quick short rest.
It's a quick
Yes.
short rest.
Yeah.
Where would you like to do that?
The
Either
room
on-
of
on-
moldiness.
Yeah.
That's
Make it
the one you
please.
just found?
Yep. Farazan's gonna lay down on one of the beds. Actually, no. He's not. He's gonna lay down on the floor. Not in a nasty bed. I believe I just lost everyone. Think so. If you guys can hear me, blink your eyes. I apologize.
I think Farazan, you're the only one that's going to be using hit dice to heal up.
Hey, look. You're back.
Something weird happened with our stream.
Yeah. Heath,
What?
you're running the game now.
Am I? Cool.
Yeah.
So somehow
Uh,
you're in the ivory throne.
So it just so happens that under this moldy mat is a +3 flaming longsword of
Plus
vampire
3.
slaying.
Whip.
I'm not sure what happened here. I don't know how it got that bad. I'm gonna reload the thing here. Oh, Cowart
Cow-
says everyone's back back
it's
and
working.
working. So that's
Could have
good.
just
Hold-
been a hiccup.
We're back. We're just in the wrong squares.
Yep. I'm in the
That's
right
a-
spot.
Great thing about live. Things go wrong live.
At least we're consistently in the wrong squares.
That's fine. Heath, take over as GM.
Go.
All right. So the crunchy custard was
Mhm.
actually a bunch of goblins, bunch being 3, eating crunchy custard.
Ah, it's so easy.
You know, the
That
custard
makes
with
sense now.
like the thin layer of hard chocolate on top,
Mhm,
that's
mhm.
what they're eating.
Just
All
filthy
right.
goblins.
Farazan, start rolling your hit dice one at a time, and you can stop whenever you get to where you want to be. So yours is, what's your Constitution bonus?
83.
83. So D10 plus 83.
Okay. Let's see. I think I can do this in here somewhere. Short rest.
I know that you're fairly new to 5e. Are you familiar with how short rest works? I don't know if we've actually used hit dice yet in this game for healing.
I don't remember.
So a quick TLDR, you have as many hit dice in your pool as your level. So you're a
Okay.
4th level fighter. You have 4d10 dice in your pool to heal with during a short rest. You may do one at a time. You roll your hit die, which is yours is D10
Mhm.
plus your Constitution bonus,
Mhm.
and if you like it, you're done. If you want to roll another one, you go. You keep on going until you get where you want, or you run out.
Okay.
And also, since this has never come up before, there are some suggested rules about the number of short rests you can have between long rests, and it's generally 2. My
Okay.
rule is you can use short rests as long as you have dice in your pool. If
Okay.
you've used all your dice up, you can no longer do a short rest. But everybody's full, so it shouldn't be a problem right now.
All right.
There's some
That's
definition of everybody.
Do what?
Your hit die is better than a healing potion.
Barely.
I mean, I would like to roll average once. That's a 4.
Okay.
for a
You have
total of
3 dice
7.
left.
I'm gonna roll another one.
There you
Max.
go.
Hey, there we are.
That's no better.
Boom.
That's 20.
That's a 7, and that's a what was that? A 13? Yeah, that gets me back up.
Okay. So you still have 2 dice left in your pool.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Any questions about short rest?
No.
Okay.
No, but if I have abilities that reset on a short rest,
They are reset now.
they are reset now, and
Yeah. Like, I think you've got second wind, and maybe that's all you. I'm not sure what all you get.
Action surge and
short
all of your
rest?
battle master dice.
Okay.
Yep.
The weird defense thing, right? Was that
Mhm.
reset?
I
I
think
think
that's
it's a long rest.
Oh, that's a short rest too.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Stone
You're a
skin
short
or
rest
Stones.
monster.
Yeah,
Stone's endurance. Is that a short rest?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. All right.
He wakes
Good for you.
wakes up or what he wakes up from his nap. He's like, guys, I feel great. That's the best
I-
nap I've had in a long time.
I'm really
Yes.
relieved that you have all that stuff back.
You're relieved.
Let's
Yeah,
get
yeah.
let's go get murdered by a crazy vampire guy then.
I would
All right.
prefer not, but okay.
Heading back, Trathiel.
I have a potion of invisibility. If anyone wants one, I've got 2.
I think you're also going to need to reestablish your psychic
Oh yeah.
mojo.
So I will, which is a D6, which I can never find in the UI. So just let me roll a D6.
Hey,
5 hours.
there you go.
Finally,
Sweet.
finally, more than 1
First
hour. in a
time you've
psychic
rolled more
link.
than one.
Something else that's going to last longer than Farazan.
Aw. I feel bad for accurately pointing out that Fezant's going to die.
And just in case I missed something, because I think Skype disconnected just as we moved back into the room. Was there? And he said something about a flaming greatsword, and I know that was a joke, but was there anything in between me putting Farazan's token into the room and that joke that I missed that was important?
I don't think so.
Okay, excellent.
Doubtful.
Just making
Do,
sure.
do either of you want to search the filthy flea-ridden pallets? Because I don't.
But we spent an hour in here, so sure.
You could have.
Yeah. So yes.
I didn't.
Someone else to search. Go right ahead.
Yeah,
What am I rolling?
I'm gonna take his
Perception?
stick and kind of
Perception.
move the hay around, but he's not gonna get in there.
No.
Just
I
fleas,
mean, that-
fleas and poop.
I'm glad we're getting these low rolls out of the way. We're all just
Yep.
like really tanking the rolls.
Yeah, yeah. This is true.
Uh,
All right.
All right. The other two,
Trath-
place yourself where you would like to be as Tarathiel enters.
Okay. So before we leave our little moldy room,
Mhm.
I use a scroll and cast magic weapon on Ferzan's staff.
So that
Ooh.
gives it +1 to hit, +1 to damage, makes it magical, and lasts an hour.
Yes. And it's
Is it-
concentration.
It is concentration.
So I am concentrating on the spell. His
Okay.
weapon is now +1 longstaff.
Okay. Got it.
Is there a way to indicate that on
Probably
D&D
not.
Beyond?
There may be some somewhere that you can put like adjustments for magical spells and things. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty limited in D&D Beyond.
If you click the attack, there's a customize button
Oh,
that
yep,
drops
yep.
down, and then you can add stuff in there or move things around in there.
Okay. I think I can add a 2-hit bonus and a damage bonus.
Yeah.
What does that give me? Ooh, I like it. All right.
Now, did you attune your cloak?
Yes.
Okay. I want to make sure that's up to date. Yeah.
Asking for a friend.
Yeah. Jamie mentioned, was it off air? I'm not sure if it was off air that he had not attuned his cloak of protection and had not been using his +1 AC and all saving throws for the last, I don't know, 4 months.
I think it was attuned at one time, and it had become unattuned.
Yeah, that happened with the Hat of Disguise as well. Like one day I logged in and it was just not attuned.
Okay, maybe it just drops it.
Yeah.
All right, I won't razz you too hard.
That's fair.
All right, where are you guys going to be as Tarathiel stands the precipice of doom?
Of doom.
Doom.
I'll telepathically ask. Farazan will telepathically ask Tarathiel, "Is like, tell me how far behind before you can't hear my footsteps." So, about that far?
Tarathiel will step back around the corner and ask, "How do I look?" and then drink a potion of invisibility.
So sound travels about 90 feet without any kind of blocking. So I would like Khaldun and Farazan to give me their stealth checks. Now, stealth is modified, or perception is modified by distance and all that, but I would like to know what y'all's score is. If it's abysmal, I just need to know that.
Okay.
All right, Khaldun. You don't have disadvantage, do you?
I do, because of my
Okay.
armor. That's the 3.
Oh, the 3. Oh gosh. Okay, 3 and 3.
And 3. And 3. Yep.
So, all right, Tarathiel, you're there at where you're standing, and you hear Khaldun and Farazan bumping into each other as they come down the hall. It's not terrible. They're obviously trying to be quiet, but it's not coming across very well. And it is slightly echoing down through to where you are. And you figure if you can hear it, others can too.
We are the Lollipop Gang.
Well,
Well, I figure Farazan's got that 10-foot pole that he's using as a staff, and he's just holding it, at the ready. But it's just kind of on the wall.
well, he's doing the typical Gygax, like checking for traps in front of him
Yeah.
with his 10-foot pole.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's like a marching band is trying to steal ice creams.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. I guess Tarathiel being invisible will step in front of this door and see what he can see.
All right.
Opening.
You see pretty much that. You see that token is it's obviously one of the goblin adepts lying on its face down in the corner, kind of in a crumpled heap.
Don't believe it.
Does it have bite marks?
Farazan, you cannot tell.
Mentally, does it have bite marks?
Tarathiel, you step into the room.
Don't step into the room. That's a terrible idea.
Undunted.
He's invisible and hidden.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
As you walk into the room, you see that goblin in the corner that you've already seen. You see another goblin over on the wall behind what looks like a very, very large and oddly designed throne. It looks as though it's about 8 feet tall. The wood part is made of bones of all different kinds of animals and humanoids. And the leather is obviously made out of skin. And it's not just skin, it is faces of hundreds of different creatures. And you see noticeably on there, actually, you see the throne itself. Did the image show up?
No.
Oh no.
No.
I'm undelighted by that. Hang on, let me try this again.
Nonplussed. Oh, there it is.
There we go. I like the grinning one at the top. Yep.
Yeah. So you see,
And the belly button.
it is it's actively pulling what looks like a goblin's face over another section of its hide. It's obviously one of the goblins that's in there. Sitting in the throne is a very familiar face. You see Auric sitting there limply, face completely removed, obviously dead. The chair, the throne, all the faces slowly turn, hearing footfall, not seeing you. They're not looking directly at Tarathiel, but they're looking now down towards the hallway where you just came from. Doesn't really make any action, but it continues to pull the face taut across the back side of it. It looks like the four legs on the bottom hold it up, like it would be a four-legged creature. It's got four arms moving around, pulling these things, tightening up the faces of its last few acquisitions. What would you like to do?
Scream silently.
And it is absolutely frigid, chilly in here. There's also, I failed to mention, let me read you the description of the actual room itself. There is a door in the back far corner. Is that image still up? I don't, okay. Can y'all take it down?
I took it down.
Okay, cool. There is a door closed in the back northeastern corner of this room. Oh, lost my notes.
They're over there.
The walls of this sinister chamber are painted in blood, which is dried and turned to a rusty shade of brown. The back corner of the room has fallen away into a dark crevice, and a roomy chair made of stitched skin.
Roomy. It's roomy. That
Roomy.
makes it all better.
Oh my god, some of the descriptions in this thing. A roomy chair made of stitched skin, torn off faces, and bundled bones sits in front of the gaping orifice. So
This is the
my mistake.
the
I thought
face-
that was
this
the
is
door
the
that's
face-
open.
this is the Facebook ad. Roomy chair made of stitched faces.
Yeah, it's Wish. Yes.
The wish throne.
Okay.
So
Okay.
when Tarathiel screams, both of us, our eyes just bug out because he just shrieked in our brains.
Guys, I found what's left of Auric.
And I
I also-
apologize. I was trying to process the faces. What is stretching the faces? Is it the chair?
The
that's
chair itself, so it looks like it's got 6-8 limbs on it.
Uh-huh.
The 4 feet, and then it's got what would be the armrests, and then the back pieces. They're all coming loose. And it looks like 4 bony, just skinless, fleshless bone that's pulling this faces across its back to fill in open gaps, like covering the belly button and going to the right armpit. It's pulling this face of the goblin across its chest, and looks like the long fingers are slowly stitching it into itself. Tarathiel, you definitely, without perception, see Auric's face in the chair's backing.
Gross. And both of these goblins are dead.
Very much so, yes.
You.
Okay, I'm gonna back out of this room.
Why?
There's a chair making faces at me. I don't like it.
What do you mean, a chair making faces?
I mean, it's pulling the faces off things and wearing them like it's a shirt.
Is it Auric?
Yeah, he's one of them.
He's one of the faces?
Yep.
Then we should get in there and destroy. Ah!
Kind of gives you an idea of its size and some of its mobility.
It's roomy.
Ugh.
I don't like it.
It's a
It's a roomy chair.
certainly roomy. And hey,
It's wearing,
it's
it's
been
wearing an Auric suit.
it's literally been working on its beach body for a while.
I like how it's got like either shoulder blades or ischial crests as its shoulder blades up top.
Scapulas.
Yes.
Of the many things that I imagined we were going to encounter.
That's
down
not one
here.
of them.
Yeah,
It's not one of them.
yeah. A defacing chair is not one of them. Right.
So I get the
Fair-
feeling this episode was intended for Halloween. We're just a little late.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not-
know.
Let's
Oh,
get in
let's
there
go.
and destroy this thing. Farazan will start
No.
moving forward.
Yeah,
Not ready to
so
face this.
I mentally send to Tarathiel, is there some other way we can go?
There's someone else we can speak to.
Yes,
Yep.
is there someone else we can speak to?
Certainly,
Can I
it's
speak to-
definitely aware of your presence.
Can I speak
I
to-
guess
I'm not going to move.
Tarathiel hasn't seen it move around, right? Other than it's got hands and it's pulling things on. It's making faces.
Yeah. So
But-
what I imagine, and going back to the whole Alien franchise, it's like seeing one of the aliens in its own environment, just kind of slowly moving, just doing its own thing, aware of something but not sure what it is. So it has turned its form towards that hallway, not looking at you, Tarathiel, but going like recognizing the sound. But it's continuing to do what it was doing before it heard that as you walked in.
Okay. I don't like it. All right. I think I don't know if we can sneak past it. It definitely knows we're here.
I'm ready to destroy it. Is it like, I mean, if like you said that it killed Auric, right?
Yeah, I killed an orc and 2 goblins, it looks like.
Yeah. I'm ready to watch you destroy it from very far away.
Okay. Then he will keep moving forward and around the hallway. So when do you want me to stop so you can say the inevitable roll for initiative?
When you
I guess
get
as soon as it sees you.
when you get right here,
Okay. How about right
we're
there?
rolling initiative. Yeah. Okay. You walk around the corner. Khaldun kind of on his heels. I don't have to be right up his butt, but like you're coming behind him.
Yeah.
And please roll me initiative.
Boop.
Oh,
Ugh.
Oh, it's not a bad roll.
my. Jeez. It's ridiculous. All right. Anybody else besides me get above a 20?
Don't like it.
I like that you keep asking, though. It really shows optimism.
It
it-
happens occasionally. Occasionally. 15 to 20.
Yes.
What you got?
16.
16. Khaldun, what you got?
10.
10? Farazan? I'm sorry, Tarathiel?
Still 16.
8.
8. All right. So Farazan, as you come around the corner,
Mhm.
it quicker than you expect turns, sees you walk into its chamber,
Mhm.
and lets out this horrible multi-voice like as it starts approaching. Now I can't breathe. As it starts approaching you, Tarathiel, even though it's not focused on you, you and Farazan need to give me a wisdom saving throw. Has this
you
unholy
sit in the comfy
Actually,
chair.
Khaldun, you're in earshot. Go ahead and give me a saving throw as well. The sound that it's producing from all these voices is unholy and absolutely terrifying.
Aha.
Fail. Fail.
Yes. 19 and 22, you're good. 6, however, you're frightened. You have the frightened condition.
I mean, I'm
He was
uh,
already frightened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are now mechanically frightened.
Okay.
So frightened has a couple of effects. One, you cannot approach it.
It wasn't going to. Okay.
hadn't
working
planned
out
on
No
it.
problem.
You just
This
double
is
check
fine.
it.
No problem.
From the book, Frightened. A frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight, and the creature can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear. So essentially, you have disadvantage towards it as long as you can see it, and you cannot approach it. However, it approaches you. Well, actually, it approaches fair. Oop, that's Oric. Let's get him out of the way. He's dead. I'll leave him behind. The chair rambles over, click clacking on its legs, and two of its arms swing out at Farazan. First one looks like it's trying to hook onto him, trying to grapple Farazan.
Stop it. Stop it.
Uh,
Stop it.
this is a 9. 9 fails. The second is an actual attack. Natural 20.
Protect
Naturally.
your face.
Oh wait, can I riposte that sort of attack?
Yes.
The quasi
Yes, you
attack?
may. Absolutely.
All right, I will.
With your
riposte.
magic staff.
Yeah.
Yes, with your magic stick of doomly death.
All right. Well, hopefully this is the good end. That's a good end.
That's a hit.
21. Okay, excellent. 15 points of
15. All right.
magical slashing, bludgeoning, wacky damage.
And all of those faces and voices scream out in pain as it smacks you back. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. You lucky.
Yay!
Oh no.
For a total of 10 points of damage.
Oh,
Bludgeoning, if that matters.
yes. He's immune to bludgeoning damage.
Oh, well, how fortunate.
Yeah, it's really nice. That was that's what the cloak of protection was.
I didn't play this well at all. All right, Farazan, it is your turn.
Oh Lord. Is this another bloody creature that's not going to be able to be tripped?
I mean,
4 legs.
it is technically a large creature,
Uh-huh.
and it has 4 legs, so
Hard
I
to
mean,
trip.
sure, you can attempt. It's like tripping a horse.
Tripping a horse. Okay.
Very tall horse, bony,
Yeah.
with faces.
Faces. Yeah, all choppy and no droppy. All right. With my rolling with inspiration
All right.
this time, marking that, going to spend a. Oh, nope. So after I hit with a weapon attack, I then can spend one of the superiority dice.
Yes.
So, spend the inspiration to get. There's a 22. Let me roll it again because I forgot to click the button. 22.
22 is a hit.
Okay. Let's see. Do I need to resolve the damage first? Oh no,
You
superiority
can-
die.
Yeah.
Adds.
After you hit, you can choose to add it on.
Okay. Then rolling the damage. I'll go ahead and do that. And the I'm going to use the superiority die to add the trip. So
So this is a trip attempt.
yep. So the damage is going to be plus the D8 from the superiority die. So that's going to be 20 points of damage,
Jeez.
and then it has to make a DC 14 strength saving throw.
Okay.
Roll low, please.
16
Lower
on
than
the
that.
die. It succeeds its strength check.
Okay.
And you feel like you tripped fairly well, but one of the two of the other appendages step out behind it where it was falling, and it sort of adjusts where it's on its side, and like 2 of its feet are now its arms, and 2 of its arms are now its legs. It's just kind of folded over to adjust itself correctly.
Yeah, yeah.
Freak.
Don't like that.
It's a 4-legged freak.
So all right. So that is the attack action. So he swings. You know, he's got the staff, and he kind of spins it and strikes low with it, and he hits that front leg. But unfortunately, it saves. So then he's going to whip it back around with his bonus action to hit.
Okay.
And the 7 again is 13. That's probably gonna miss.
13 is a miss.
Is that with
And-
your +1 to hit?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so. Let me just make sure. Yes, I think I clicked the right one. Yes, +7. And because I'm engaged with this thing, I'm going to go ahead and spend my action surge to get an
All right.
additional action and swing again.
Okay.
So he's just basically whipping this thing around in all different directions. Good grief. Okay.
14.
Yeah, 14.
Strictly better.
14 is 1 point better, but it's still a miss.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, he's a blur of that long staff just kind of whipping around, and one of them connects, but the other is like doing. Yeah, right off
They
the.
connected pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you connected a lot against this thing.
So
Anything else, Farazan?
I do believe that is everything that I can do.
At the end of your turn, it reaches out again and tries to pull you into its
Oh no.
embrace.
I like it.
14. Oh, no, 14.
That is a miss.
That is a miss. All right, it is Khaldoon's turn.
Khaldun casts, he looks at it, and he tries to decay the flesh off of the chair with Toll the Dead. Wisdom DC 13.
And what kind of damage is that?
Necrotic.
All right. Does not seem to have any effect.
Oh no.
It's
appears
immune to
be
necrotic
immune
damage.
to necrotic damage.
Some kind of weird
All right.
undead thing.
Learn something.
Yes, yes.
I think that's it. I'm concentrating on the spell.
Okay. No movement. You're good. No bonus.
Mhm. Yep.
All right. At the end of your turn, it again attempts to grapple Farazan.
What?
Has legendary actions or lair
L-
actions? Or whatever you
Lair
wanna call 'em.
actions. It's called a lair action. That is a 23.
Okay, fine. That's gonna hit.
Okay. You're grappled. You're grappled. That just means your movement is reduced to 0.
Mhm.
Nothing else happens immediately.
While it removes your face.
Sure. Raphael, it's your turn.
Nope, 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 nope. Tarathiel runs into the corner. I really don't want to give up my invisibility, but I'm going to, because this thing seems nasty. So Tarathiel's going to throw a psychic blade at it. I have advantage from being invisible and disadvantage from being afraid, so they should cancel out, right?
Yes, it does. You're right.
Okay. It's a 14 to hit, so it doesn't hit. So Tarathiel
14.
reappears in the corner of the room, cowering.
Okay.
He's like just tossing a dagger. All right, I'll try it with an offhand, but now I'm at disadvantage properly, so this is probably not going to go well. Let me find the right buttons.
Aw.
That's an 8.
8 is a miss.
2 psychic daggers fling across the room and just fail to connect with anything useful.
And you notice 3 or 4 of the faces on the side notice you.
Gross. No, don't like it.
Anything else to Raphael?
No.
All right. After your turn, it attempts to drag Farazan into the actual throne proper. Give me a athletics check. This is a opposed roll. Opposed roll. Yes.
Okay.
I oppose this roll.
you oppose this roll. Dang it.
Is that your total 13?
Yes.
Okay. It pulls you.
Mm-hmm.
It settles down onto the 4 limbs, and the 2 arms have now grappled you and slowly pulled you into the chair. However, now it's its turn.
Oh, however.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't going to do anything. It doesn't like immediately do anything. It's just it grapples and then it pulls you in. Round 2. All of the faces in the chair bite and start draining blood from your body.
Oh, no. I'm glad I had full hit points so that it has plenty to drain.
You take 13 points of blood drain.
Yeah.
Can I? No, I can't because I used my reaction.
And it appears to heal. Some of the wounds that you caused with your magical staff have healed up.
Okay. Don't like it.
And the 2 of you, it pulls back into the room and makes 1 attack at Tarathiel. Missing a lot.
Does it drop its meal?
No. It has 1 arm. Actually, the mouths are biting into you, like they've locked on for thematic sake.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the arms just reached out. Appears to have a 10-foot reach.
Appears.
That's its turn. Farazan, it's your turn.
He screams.
This is wrong. All of this is wrong.
Why am I here? Who thought of this? I'm not happy. This is the planet bullshit. The galaxy of garbage.
To the best of my knowledge, this is not a vampire.
Can someone go get the vampire and bring it back? I'd rather have the vampire. No, I don't know. I know in third or 3.5 or Pathfinder rather, you can't attack when you're grappled unless you have like a
No.
light weapon. Is that
No, that's all you are is your movement is reduced to 0. That's it. If you want to break the grapple, it's just an opposed athletics check. You are not limited in your actions. You just can't move.
okay? Definitely limited in his like ability to keep his lunch down in here in just a minute. But no, with the new round and all of his things that he can do, he's just gonna start. I can see him like being held to this chair, and he's like, "Stop it! Stop it!"
Ow! Ow! Quit biting me! Ow! Ow!
Yeah.
Ow!
Let go
Auric,
of me.
quit biting me!
So yeah, just gonna take a swing with the staff.
Okay,
Hopefully this will. How about a 24 to hit?
that's a hit.
Excellent. With a damage roll of 15 again.
Good Lord, you are messing this thing up. So you basically re-break whatever just healed up. This
Yeah.
past round.
So I like to think he's like stabbing the staff like over his head into one of the
Into
faces.
its eye. Into its eye.
Yeah.
Quack,
I
Is Auric's face still wearing the eye patch?
quack. No, it fell off.
Oh,
That's funny.
gross.
gross. And then I'm just gonna keep going with it. Swing the staff again.
All right.
With the bonus action, swing the staff is a 14.
14's a miss.
Yep. Okay. Can I tell how much of a miss that is? Like,
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. I've got the precision attack, and I was just thinking maybe that it might be a good idea to use
What does
that.
precision attack do?
When you make an attack roll, you can add the D8 to it
To your to
after the
hit?
roll.
To your to hit?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna be a benevolent GM. Think back. You have hit with things that are not much higher than a 14. You hit with a 16 almost. I'm almost certain of it. I definitely know you hit with like an 18, but just FYI, you have hit with like a 16 or 17.
Oh, okay. Okay. In that case, I
So-
will use the precision attack.
Okay.
And roll the D8 to add that to
To your attack roll.
the attack roll. Yes.
All right.
And it's a 4, so that's a total of 18 to hit.
That is a hit.
And then that is going to be, and I'd rolled this here, so that's 7 points of damage.
7 points. All right. Very nice.
Mm,
Very nice.
Yep, very nice, very nice.
Does that get the +1 in there too?
Oh no, I didn't put the +1 on that one, so
Okay.
that should be 8 total.
Got it.
And that's a standard and a bonus, and I believe that will be it. I'll hold my reaction for something, I don't know, to scream.
All right. It doesn't do anything. Khaldun, it's your turn.
Let's see here. I tried to decay its flesh and it wasn't having it.
Yeah, it appears to be immune to necrotic damage. That's what you gathered from. you know,
Yeah, that's what it looks like. You said this creature's large, so if I try to hit it with a firebolt, is there a chance I'm going to hit Farazan?
No. That's fine. It's not like that. It's not like one of those pass through damages. You're fine. No cover or anything.
I am going to, okay, instead of that, I'm going to, let's see, 1, it's 10, 15, 20. I'm going to grapple for Zahn and try to drag him out of the chair.
Okay. Give me an opposed athletics check.
I'm
Jeez.
gonna hold on.
I rolled a 2.
Nice.
21.
All right. So you pull Farazan out of the throne, and you hear it screaming wildly in anger and frustration.
Impressive.
Thank you.
And 25, 30. I'm backing away.
It takes an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, it's got 10 feet of reach.
1. That is a 1. Ladies and
I
gentlemen.
dodge.
1. Yes, you definitely dodge. It swings out with one of its big, gangly bone arms and completely misses.
Excellent.
And I'm done.
At the end of your turn, it attempts to
no.
grapple Farazan again. Give me an opposed athletics check, Farazan.
Delicious.
You succeed.
Thank goodness.
It swipes out,
Barely.
tries to grab you, but you break free.
Okay.
That was Khaldun. Tarathiel, it's your turn.
Tarathiel is going to try and get out of the room without getting closer to this thing. So I think I can get there. There. Is that technically closer?
That's right.
It's 10 feet either way, right?
Yeah, you're good.
I can get to there. That's 20. What is it? 5, 10, 15, 20. That's 20 to there. All right. I'm going to throw a couple of psychic daggers at it as I run around the wall.
Okay.
He's
You're running up along the wall.
He's like
Yeah,
strafing
exactly,
as he's shooting. Yeah.
No. I'll spend a bonus as well. First one's a 24.
Is that with disadvantage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
20, oh, wow. That's
It
it.
was 24. So it's 8 psychic damage.
That's just lucky. 8. All right.
Do you not
Uh,
get
yeah,
the sneak attack?
I do. No, I don't think I do because I have disadvantage.
Because you have disadvantage, you do not get sneak attack. That's correct.
Oh,
No,
oh,
no
okay.
sneak attack on that. And an 8 for the second shot won't hit, and I've got 10 feet of movement left. So Tarathiel's just gonna run past Khaldun and out the room. Nope.
So that's
Oh no, wait,
15
we're
feet of-
treating. Yeah, it's 15 because we're treating.
But you have a dash. You used a bonus. Okay.
I used a
Yeah,
bonus.
you're not able to get through Khaldun.
Sorry.
But conveniently, I didn't step out of its range, so therefore it doesn't get an opportunity attack on me.
It already used its reaction on me.
It already used its reaction.
Anything else,
But
Tarathiel?
I might need new pants. Does that happen on a long rest?
You may. It's definitely a
did-
possibility. Maybe
I did-
Khaldun
I-
can prestidigitate you.
Mending.
I did look up what is the official term for when a book is covered in human skin, and it's anthropodermic bibliophagy.
What is it when it's a chair?
I don't know.
Anthropopedic
Research will continue.
Phroneopity. All right. At the end of Tarathiel's turn, it attempts to grapple Farazan.
He really likes. See, I told you it's
Hands off.
romantic.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it is. When the moon gets your give me a
yeah.
athletics check, please.
There you go.
That is a fail. No, I'm
dang it.
sorry. No. That's a tie. So yes, that is a fail.
Shoot.
It grapples you. So you're officially grappled, movement 0. You're not pulled into its throne. However, it's round 3 and it's its turn. As one of its actions, it's going to attempt to pull you into the throne. So give me another athletics check.
Okay.
Oh,
Aha.
yes. All
Farazan
right. So
says no.
you're still grappled, but it does not pull you in to the bitey buddies. But it does take a slam at you with its other appendage,
Mhm.
trying to knock you out, kill you fastly. 16?
No, sir.
No. And it is done. Farazan, it's your turn.
I'm going to riposte that last hit.
Okay. How many superiority dice do you have left?
After that, 0.
Okay, I was wondering. 14, is that a total?
Yes.
Okay, that's a miss.
All right. So he whacks away. It tries to whack away the slam, but he does not quite able to reach out and touch someone. So he's going to take my standard action to attack.
So that was its turn. It's now your full turn.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a 1.
To hit,
Total of 8.
no. That's a miss.
I believe that will miss. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Then with the other end of the stick for the bonus.
Is that
That's the
natural
good end.
20?
No, that's a
No,
19.
That's a 19. Okay, that's definitely a hit. For
Okay.
show.
And the bonus action damage is 7. 8. Because that's not.
8.
It doesn't
Okay.
have the +1 on it.
Yep. All right. It is hit. It is hurt. It does appear to be slowly healing over time.
Okay.
When it bit you and drained your blood, it healed a lot.
Mhm.
Right now, it's just slowly knitting.
It's just sitting there as a chair and knitting.
Yes. It's knitting its own self.
I don't like it. I do not like it.
Anything else Farazan?
I'm imagining it like bit, and tore a little bit of skin off Farazan. It's just kind of stitching that into itself, to get its.
Feel it kind of ripping and tearing at your face, trying to peel off a little bit,
Yeah,
add to its collection.
I don't like it, but no, that's it. That's a standard and a bonus for me.
Okay. At the end of your turn, it attempts to drag you into the throne. Give me an athletics check, please. Are you kidding me? I'm actually glad. I'm saying like, oh no, it failed, but kind of good because it does a lot of damage when it does that.
Yeah,
You are not pulled in. You are still grappled, but you did not get pulled into its embrace. Khaldun, it's your turn.
All right. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm snuggling up to the goblin up there.
He dives under the goblin for cover.
Puts his face on his own. Well, it doesn't have a face. Never mind. I was thinking like from The Office. It was like,
Yes.
from the CPR episode.
And I hurl a firebolt at it.
Okay. Roll the hit.
No. 13.
13. That is a miss.
Just don't
No,
shout.
no, no.
Face me at the thing. Like, it's
Did you
not
say-
going to
you
end
said-
well.
You said you were done?
Yeah.
Okay. It will again attempt to bring Farazan into the throne. Athletics check, please.
Fitting.
You're still resisting. It's not pulling you any closer.
Good.
That's good.
Trathiel, it's your turn.
I do not wish this to be repeated.
Yep. Do not want. All right. I'm gonna throw a psychic dagger at the thing. Do I want to spend inspiration on this to cancel the disadvantage?
Hit it in the face.
Can you use your aim?
That'd be easy.
Yes, but then I can't move. Yeah, that's probably okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Trathiel is gonna take a moment to try and send a psychic dagger past Farazan's
Shakily.
face.
The face cheer, give me a kissy kiss.
Hold still. There's only so many. There's a lot of faces in there, and I don't want to hit yours. 14 does not hit, and I
14
can't
is
move
a
now.
miss.
And that uses my bonus, so I'm done.
All right. At the end of your turn,
I don't like it.
Farazan, give me an athletics check. It's trying to drag you in still. Oh, goodness.
Nope.
And it pulls you into the throne.
Ah!
Stop feeding
And
it.
It is now its turn. It will take its free action to bite
Dang
you
it.
with 100 faces, draining your blood for 15 points of damage.
I'm going to use my reaction
What's your reaction?
to
Ow!
Stone's Endurance.
Okay.
Reduce the damage dealt by D12 plus 3.
All right.
8.
So it's 7 total instead, right?
7 damage. Yes, thank you very much.
All right. And it heals up significantly from the blood drain. And that's, I said free action. That is not a free action. That is one of its actions. Second attack, it will lash out at Khaldun. Just a regular bludgeoning schmackola, missing because the goblin that he's buried under was in the way.
Yes, it's the chair's confused. It's like, is that a goblin? What is
I've
it?
already
What?
eaten your face. What's going on? Ah!
Khaldun's got a goblin puppet over here.
That is its turn. Fairzon, it is now your turn.
Okay. As a bonus action, I'm going to use my second wind to regain some hit points.
Okay.
About 10.
It's just feeding it more. If you pass out, then we might be able to kill it.
Yeah.
Or it's just,
Are you-
Sacrifice
you-
yourself.
take his
Be a
face off.
martyr. Be a martyr.
Are you hoping it gets full and bears on and goes and takes a nap in the corner?
It's not a tick.
I mean, it's Thanksgiving week, right? That's the tradition.
It's the theme.
Gorges itself and then passes out for an hour.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the thing.
The ritual of tryptophan.
Um,
Much
Can-
tryptophan is in a Fairzon?
is
Tastes like turkey or
yeah,
chicken.
yeah. I hope he chips a tooth on Bearzon. Is it would it be of any benefit to dodge?
Yes.
Uh,
Oh, wait.
it will. So the dodge will help if it tries to slam you.
Mhm.
But you are sitting in a chair that is nothing but jagged mouths and teeth. You will not. This is an automatic hit, just game mechanic wise.
Okay.
Once you're sitting in that throne, it's kind of grappled you in there. It's just biting you, like hundreds of teeth are just biting into you, draining your blood.
Okay.
So the
And-
dodge would not help that, but a dodge would help if it tries to slam you as well.
So, I've from what I could tell, on every turn it can initiate a grapple or pull in.
It seems to be either trying to grab, pull you in, or move. Between the players' turns.
Okay. Between the
So,
players' turns.
Again, you're new to 5e. There are things called layer actions.
Mhm.
They're set and specific. You get so many per turn. You can only do X amount. You can only do like certain things.
Mhm.
Like, behind the curtain, this creature cannot attack as a layer action. It can't attack between your attacks, but it can try to grapple you. It can try to bring you into the throne. It can try to bite you if you're already there. But it can't actually attack everybody, or it can move. It moved at one point when it had you. It pulled you back into the room. So those are layer actions.
Mhm.
Those are usually reserved for, the big bad or whatever, the BBEG in their specific layer. They're just a bit more powerful. And the mechanics idea behind it is to give the one creature a bit more action economy compared to the other, all the other PCs going against it.
Yeah.
It's a great mechanic when it's not murdering us.
And
somebody else to come in here.
there are many layer actions that are including like casting spells, attacking. Like this is a very subtle, like very grapple or move. That's not a very powerful layer. For this, it is because it has a special attack with the grapple. But just a move or a grapple for a layer action, it's pretty low on the oh shitometer.
Yeah, except when the 2d8 comes as a free action.
Yeah, and it was almost max.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you wanted to, you could go ahead and use your action to break out of the throne as a opposed athletics check.
Okay. Any indication of how bloody this thing is? Does it look like it's been hurt by?
Yeah. But it's funny that you ask. It's been going back and forth between bloodied and not bloodied.
Right, because I've been damaging it,
You've
but
been feeding it.
it's healing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's healing every time it bites him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, honestly, at this point, it is. Now that I look at the numbers, it is bloodied at this point.
Okay.
For sure.
Farazan has been doing a lot of damage to it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think I'm just gonna keep trying to hit it with the staff. So I'm gonna do that and roll another one.
That is a miss.
Yep. So bonus to heal, standard to hit with a ineffective steak, and yeah, that's
Now,
it.
is second wind a bonus action?
Yeah.
Second wind was a
Oh,
bonus action.
all right.
Yes.
For some reason I had the free action. Okay. Anything else, Farazan?
Sit here and bleed and struggle and scream.
What are you gonna do? Bleed?
Yeah.
All right. It will, when you're done, it will move back to the corner, and it is Khaldun's turn.
Khaldun's gonna save his friend again.
Okay.
Try to grapple him out.
All right.
And I fail.
That is a fail.
I could see Farazan like reaching out with the staff to like here,
Hold this,
grab
pull me out.
pull me out, pull me out. Yeah.
It was kind of a close. Well, you only had 11, but you pulled him and you're pulling him out, but the teeth are so in depth, like into his body, that you're just pulling at him, and it's tearing at the skin in his back. That's what's holding him in the throne, not the arms. The arms are flailing and attacking you guys, but all the teeth are biting and holding him in the chair, thematically.
Can I tell whether or not is this a living creature or does it look like a magical construct?
Give me a knowledge, either Arcana or Religion, whichever you're better at.
Well, I'm better at Arcana, but not today.
A 9. So, based on the fact that you cast a spell that uses necrotic damage and it was immune, you're very certain this thing is an undead creature.
Only we had some spells that did radiant damage.
All right. It's an
9's not
creature.
a terrible roll.
It's better than 7.
It's better than a 7.
Undead. Okay.
Farazan's thinking.
I will take a couple steps back.
Okay. It will attempt to smack at you.
All right.
That's probably it. Yeah, that's got to be it.
It's attacking me twice.
Nah, it's damage.
Okay.
Were you going to cast shield?
Wizard tank it.
No, I'm not going to cast shield.
Okay. That is a total of 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right. Shield absorbs 7. I take 2 points of damage.
Handy.
And concentration. I fail. Fuck that, man. Okay. No more magic shield.
Yeah, the magic weapon has worn off of your staff now.
Uh-oh.
Anything else, Khaldun?
No, I am going to burn it.
Okay. It doesn't
It
do
is
anything.
now going to die.
Tarathiel, it's your turn.
Tarathiel will take aim again and throw another psychic dagger.
Okay.
21 to hit.
That's a hit.
All right. That'll
And
do.
technically, it is
It's a
flanked.
crit.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
crit?
No.
Not a crit. Sneak attack.
15 on the die.
Yes.
It is a
definitely
sneak attack.
Yes, for sure.
For a total of 18 psychic damage.
Okay. Holy crap. All right.
I found a face with a brain.
Still
Just don't hit mine.
moisturize me. Moisturize me. Did y'all watch the
Doctor Who.
the Doctor Who?
Yeah.
Cassandra.
All right. That was a bonus and an action. You cannot move
And a
because of your
can't move.
bonus.
Yep.
Into your turn, it does not do anything. However, it is now the top of the next round. It is its turn, and it will drain
Dang it.
3
Yay.
points of damage
Oh, thank
of
goodness.
blood. 3.
Thank goodness.
1, 2?
We're all like,
Three.
yay, it's a small amount of blood, but it's because Faizan's running out of blood.
Yeah, exactly. Like my blood bag is empty.
Remember the movie The Jerk, where he's running home to his parents and he says that he cut himself shaving and only air came out, and so they won't let him donate blood anymore.
It moves forward and attacks Tarathiel.
No,
That was Farzan.
don't like it. It throws a Faizan at me.
Ah! Here, catch.
Does he carry Farzan with him?
Yes.
Okay.
He's sitting in the throne.
Yeah, I can see him just kind of bouncing along with the throne. He's like,
Here
no,
comes
no.
It's
Farzan.
got your arms and it's attacking him with your arms. Like, I'm sorry, it's not me. Tarathiel does a 19 hit.
Yep.
And it does 11 points of damage.
I don't like it.
Farazan, it is now your turn.
Oh man, this is rough. Okay. He will try to pull his staff free from the clutches of the evil, mean chair and take a swing at this
Those are
thing.
for you. Okay.
Oh wait, it's not a magical long staff anymore. I do not like that. Sam, I am. And I will roll the attack eventually. Yes. 14, chief.
18 is a miss.
And then with the other end, whack on one side, whack on the other side.
Hit it with a handle.
Yep, hit it with a handle.
19's a hit.
All right. And unfortunately, it's a 7.
7 points of damage. Now that the magic has worn off of your staff, it doesn't appear to do as much damage as you were doing previously.
Oh, good.
However, you do some damage.
Okay. All right.
Anything else, Farazan?
Nope.
All right. Khaldun, it's your turn.
I want to grapple Farzan and pull him out of the chair.
Okay. Ooh.
No.
No.
Okay, done.
All right.
While I remember, it could be beneficial to help Farazan and then have him do it if he's got a better athletics.
Like
For next time, it'll give him advantage on the check, I
advantage.
think.
That's true.
Okay.
Do that. Khaldun, done. It does not act. Tarathiel, it's your turn.
I don't like it at all. Tarathiel will fumble at his waist and pull the dagger of venom.
Okay.
And try and stab this thing.
All right.
I am going to spend a point of words. I'm going to spend a point of inspiration to cancel out the disadvantage
Okay.
because I want to be able to move after this. So,
And that'll allow you to do sneak attack.
Yep.
yeah. 25.
Oh,
Is a hit. So you-
For 13 points of damage. There's no poison because it didn't activate it. It would have taken an extra round
Yeah,
to
it
do
takes
that.
a round. So you pull this dagger out, flip it around, and time slows down. You spin around, slice at the back of the chair several times, dagger being magical, tearing at the faces. It screams out in that unholy sound again. The mouths release Farazan, and the throne crumbles upon itself.
And Tarathiel runs away.
goodbye.
I am leaving.
I said good day, sir.
I said good day.
Said good day.
I said good day. It is dead.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And
Hey,
as it
vampire chair.
falls- as it falls to the ground and slowly settles, almost immediately the mist that's been throughout this entire area starts to dwindle away.
Hooray.
The smell of carrion and fresh earth starts to become more faint, and the long elongated shadows and strange looking movements that you see in the corner of your eyes seem to settle, and everything gets quiet again. And we will pick up next week.
Hooray.
Yay.
Boo.
Yay! You killed the awful, awful death throne of death.
The chair, which hopefully ate the vampire.
So somewhere in the chat are referred to it as Chairman Murder.
Chairman Murder.
I think I saw that.
Okay. Yeah.
So close.
So gross. I was not expecting that.
Nope. That was not on my list at all.
Nobody expects the 100-face death chair.
I can
Yes.
Does-
cross that off my checklist.
Yes. We go. Do not recommend.
All right.
2 out of 5 stars.
No damn stars. Screw this place. Don't ever go.
No, it gets 2 stars. Very roomy, uncomfortable sit.
That's a slight
2 stars.
Possible infestation.
All right. Before we leave, any news for next week?
So I wanted to check with you guys. It is the Monday after Thanksgiving. Is there any scheduling problems? You guys good to record in a week, Monday?
Yep. All good.
Yep.
All
as
right.
long as I'm recovered from the turkey coma.
Hopefully you'll have 3 days. If not, you just turn the camera on and sleep through it. We'll wake you up for the corners.
For the chorus.
All right,
then.
then we will see everybody again next week, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, non-daylight savings time. If you're American, have a happy Thanksgiving.
Aw.
Mike, have a good Thursday anyway.
Yes, you cannot have a heavy Thanksgiving.
No, it's not allowed. Not allowed. Yep. Have a good
In the
one,
southern
everybody.
hemisphere, we have Thanksgiving down here.
Thanks taking. I mean, if somebody's giving,
We-
somebody's got to take.
We wait for this time of year.
You will send us turkeys.
We'll
Have a-
stand on the southern border of the equator going, yes, give it to me.
All right. Have a good night, all.
See ya.
See you guys.